Everywhere I look now, I see these three words. Designers are cooked. So I tried Google Stitch today, and I don't think designers are cooked, but there are gonna be some changes around here. So listen up so you're not far behind. But why do they always start with saying that designers are cooked? First of all, the people who are tweeting that are not designers. There are wannabe designers that have no taste and no actual design skills, so they want designers to be cooked to make themselves feel better as somebody who can design now. This is just a coping strategy. And there is this argument that a lot of the AI bros are pushing, that they say, hey, look what happened to code, or look at that amazing cinematic Hollywood-like AI generated video. And they fail to see the elephant in the room. So for coding, AI is great for people who already know how to code. And all of the other people are just making things that are really low quality. And with those awesome Hollywood-like movie sequences, do you really think and believe that it was done by a guy in a basement typing in a simple prompt and then scratching his ass and drinking his coffee while it's processing? No. These great looking movies done with AI were done by actual filmmakers, talented people who know what a good scene is, what good lighting is, and they can describe exactly what they want because they see it in their head first. So once again, AI here is just a tool, and most people have no idea what they want. This is why tools like that will empower some actually creative people, but they are not really going to make people with no skill suddenly appear like they do have skill. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk Microsoft Design, Google Stitch this time, because previously, 2 years ago, designers were cooked because of Microsoft Designer, and that failed spectacularly. Then designers were cooked because of Figma AI generators, and yeah, you know where that went. So we're cooked again, this time with another generator from Google, the company that's famously designed these beautiful things. I tried Google Stitch, I gave it some prompts, and I checked the predefined templates or examples. And it does do some things pretty well, but at the same time, this is not a way for non-designers to make something of value.
First of all, I gotta say that I really love that little highlight effect of the cursor on the canvas. The generated design system looks extremely systemic. It looks like a copy of a copy of a copy of some material design clone. And then you might think these are actually pretty good designs if you don't really look them through and if you don't have the eye for design. But if you look a little closer, you see how different text wraps in a different way, or how some text is just too close to another spot. And basically a lot of little mistakes that just don't make any sense. So this is just an assembled set of components predefined with some modifications. You can already do stuff like that for years in UI kits and different Figma styles and things.
This is on par with templates or UI kits. So if you get a good UI kit or a good template and then you add your own content into it, this is likely the result that you're gonna get. So this slightly speeds it up because it pre-fills it with content for you, but without the designer eye and without the taste of a designer, you're not gonna make anything great in it, just like you wouldn't have made anything great in Figma, in Sketch, or in Microsoft Designer. However, the designs coming out of Google Stitch are not bad. That's not my point here. They are good enough for multiple different things, but there is a problem with the good enough approach, because previously design was sitting on a bell curve, and that bell curve meant there is a small amount of extremely good design and shrinking amount of extremely bad design, and then there's this whole middle part here with pretty average design. And because that average design was the biggest group of them all, AI was mostly training on that. Obviously, they tried to fine-tune the models with better designers, probably adding them by hand, but it's still repeating specific patterns.
And I wanted to one-shot prompt my own app, Longevity Deck. This is what it came up with, and this is how the app actually looks like.
So now, when AI can make a design for you, it is inflating that middle part, which means there's gonna be a lot of so-so designed products out there, and there's gonna be probably less really ugly or really bad products, but that will make the competition for being in the top 1% even tougher. So what does it mean for designers? Because I'm not saying this is not gonna take away some jobs. It probably will, because I need to say it, sorry. Most people designing right now shouldn't be designers. They lack the curiosity, they lack the passion, and they just repeat patterns. They are not really open to new things at all. They love their workflow in drag and dropping components all day from Figma and solving every problem with the same set of solutions, not really stepping outside of their comfort zone, not really trying to innovate in any way because they need to deliver an outcome fast. These are people that don't love design. They don't want to explore, they just want to get something done. These are mostly the people who were happy with flat design because previously with skeuomorphism they didn't have the skills to make stuff, and now this is just simple auto-layouted rectangles. Design is bloated. There's too many people working in design, especially in design systems and component management. And yeah, a lot of these people will be gone. But I actually think this is for the better, because we really need designers pushing new grounds, pushing new ideas and experimenting and constantly being ahead of what AI has parsed before. Because this is the whole goal. We aren't here to just do repetitive, boring stuff like drag and dropping those components. AI can do that. And Google Stitch does it well enough. This is passable. This is going to replace some bad or mediocre designers, but I'm completely fine with that. This is a tool. When using a tool, the outcome is not really as much about the tool as it is you. If you completely know what you want to build and how and why, and then you can add some delightful things on top of that, then you're gonna do good whether you do it on paper like me, or you do it in Figma, or you do it in Google Stitch, or you do it in anything else. We do quite a lot of design now directly in Cloud Code with manual editing of the code, and that works just as well. But it doesn't mean that anyone can sit down and tell Claude to design a website and it's gonna be a good website, because we know what we're doing, we know what we want, and we try to innovate, we try to create new things. We don't recycle the same templates, components and materials over and over. This is also why most of my apps look different. They are not systemic, they are not repetitive. They have a unique feel and soul to them. And this is what most people are gonna be looking for in both apps and websites. Because as the median inflates, there's gonna be just a lot of so-so websites. And if you have a choice between a so-so product, like most of plastic laptops, or even the new MacBook Neo from Apple that has been known for being good at design, then most people were gonna get the Neo. And sure, it's cheaper to make now. Design is also cheaper to make now, but it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done by a designer, and it doesn't mean that anybody can design. Right now, with these tools, with these super powerful environments that allow you to build things, that gap is becoming even larger. The gap between just good enough and actually somebody who knows what they're doing. So yeah, Google Stitch will probably replace some designers. And as it gets better, it will be able to parse better sources and get slightly better outcomes. But most people using it, because it's not really a tool for designers, most people using it will have no idea if it's good or not. So they will just accept whatever gets thrown at them. Maybe they'll get lucky and they'll get a relatively better design out of it. But that's fine. I'm completely okay with that. And I'm actually happy because this pushes designers out of the comfort zone to innovate, to think about what's coming in the future. And I am pretty confident that I myself will be able to be 5 or 6 steps ahead of AI every time. And I'm fine with it learning from my stuff too. Because as it catches up to my concepts, I will be already exploring new concepts. And that way, we're pushing design forward. And that way, we're all gonna have a beautiful day. Keep designing. And if you don't really love design, then don't do it. And I wouldn't be myself if I didn't mention the Square Block Blueprint. Link in the description, and my unique methods and ways of doing these things and how I even determine what's a good design is all there. Join our community, talk to me directly, ask me questions, and just grow as a designer and as a freelancer business owner, because the future is ours.